Attack on Titan, for many, is an introduction to anime. For a series that has spanned a decade and seen critical acclaim unlike any in its genre, it's bittersweet to see everything finally come to an end. I hadn't read the manga. In fact, I only got into Attack on Titan this year on a whim. But the rich ensemble of characters and gripping world building, smothered in intrigue, gripped me from the very moment Eren's mummy went bye-bye. Uh-oh. I love this show, so it pains me to say that the ending of Attack on Titan broke my heart. It broke my heart harder than a bullet to Rico's temporal lobe. So, go ahead and smash that like button! No, I'm sorry. In this video, we're going to discuss the highs and lows of Attack on Titan's flawed ending, including an extended look at Eren and Armin's controversial scene. Spoilers ahead. Also, Mum, hi. This video is going to be pretty violent if you're watching, so don't feel like you need to watch it. To kick things off, let's discuss some indisputable redeeming features about this ending. Firstly, the visual fidelity is outstanding. The way the episode traverses through so many different characters and characters from different moments in time is a feast for the eyeballs. Additionally, I really enjoyed the color palette that layered the final fight. The textured whites contrast with a turquoise sky gave an otherworldly atmosphere to the climactic final fight between Eren and friends. It's as if this battle was not happening in a desert wasteland, but in a whole different reality. It was awesome. It should also come as no surprise that the music is incredible. From Armin's initial freefall off the airship to Levi and Mikasa descending upon Eren in the final confrontation, these moments are elevated by their music and give me shivers every single time. One of Attack on Titan's strengths was how it was able to conjure conflicting emotions within me. Eren's long journey from a little boy to the initiator of the rumbling was both understandable, painful, and horrifying. However, the ending invoked a different form of mixed feeling. I felt that the finale was mixed in its narrative quality. The discourse online has been in part nuanced and majority polarizing.
But yeah, this is a good episode.
I genuinely felt like it was one of the more boring sections of the show for me.
Attack on Titan's ending is a masterpiece.
This was a beautifully fitting ending.
There was nothing redeemable about AOT's ending.
And I guess it kind of makes sense, but for the very first time, I didn't feel that same airtight execution as everything that came before it.
Many commentators describe this ending as either a dumpster fire or perfection. See, if you think this ending is a masterpiece, you might have a hard time digesting what I'm about to say. But please, I challenge you, stay. Leave a comment so we can understand each other better. One of the initial through lines of the final episode is a depiction of the rumbling. Its devastating nature and senseless brutality is exceptionally depicted. The rumbling and seasons past have made it clear that characters can die in this show. No one is safe. The finale's opening confrontation presents itself with high stakes. However, whether it was by near miss or more likely Eren's intentionality, it absolutely felt like the plot armor was lathered on thick for our ragtag group of heroes. Let me give you a few examples. Onyan Capone. Oh, he lived. He's fine. Lived. Lived with sass. Now, this is all just too much. Levi got scratched. Lived. It wasn't very effective. These moments made it clear Eren never wished to cause them harm. He just wanted to keep moving forward. Narratively, this kind of makes sense. However, it really hampered the sense of danger the show usually gripped me with. But what about Ymir? Ymir's interaction within the battle is rather perplexing too. She awakens deceased titans through the path and is using them to assault the group. Why is she doing this? Is it to protect Eren? Is it to kill the others? I assume she didn't want to harm her own people. Her abilities and motivations are an unknown quantity. Next, amidst the chaos, we are treated to brief character moments between Sean and Reiner, which happens to be the best scene in the entire finale. Together, broken people united, fighting for their lives, just like they were before when things were simpler. I absolutely love it. Now, we can't keep talking about this big battle without mentioning Annie and Falco. Annie's return to the battle is triumphant. I like her as a character, and I thoroughly enjoyed her battling it out and joining the fray. That shot where she launches Mikasa is absolutely incredible. It is incredibly badass. But I also enjoyed how literally in the episode before this, she made up her mind that she was tired of fighting and wanted to die in peace. I thought her perspective was interesting and tangible and contrasted our heroes really well. It's a shame shame that her change in motivation happened off screen. Also, Falco's a bird, and he skipped the Titan training arc, because I guess he's built different. Okay, why is he a bird? I don't know. You gotta Reddit it, I guess. We find out he transformed and destroyed a collection of people's last vestige of safety. Nice one, Falco. Very cool, Falco. I feel like there must have been a way to transform that didn't involve decimating the ship. Either way, Falco's timely appearance absolutely feels contrived and like a plot convenience. Connie even says it's a miracle this happened. Notice how this statement seems to also speak out and affirm what the audience is thinking, as if being self-aware validates it. We will call these meta comments. Buckle up, there's a lot of them. I think what the opening chapter does so well is display the despair that is unfolding. Armin's capture is particularly compelling to me, as we get an excellent character moment of him awakening in the path, weeping over his lifeless body. He is weeping over his own personal failures, feelings of guilt, loss, and grief. This scene is paired expertly with this episode's first depiction of the rumbling catastrophe. Armin encounters Zeke in the path, and just by looking into his eyes, that's all the evidence needed to understand the hopelessness and despair that has befallen him. Whilst I've had my reservations thus far, nothing could have prepared me for what was to come. Okay, look, the Armin and Zeke conversation is incredible. We don't have time to cover it in detail here, but if you want a good analysis, watch this video. Essentially, both agree that the human experience is rich with meaning, beauty, and relationship. This slower moment is excellent. It's interesting to see a broken Zeke, crushed in spirit, conversing calmly with what has been one of his adversaries for the entirety of the show. I think the way Attack on Titan shows people of opposite sides finding common ground and understanding is one of its greatest accomplishments. Then, from the sand, a MacGuffin of sort appears. It's an item that seems to transfigure to every person who looks upon it. I honestly don't really understand this moment, nor do I understand why a collection of fallen comrades now stand together in the path with agency. Those comrades then seem to be able to regain sentience and control their Titan form, rescuing our gang from demise. I mean, Mikasa even says, I don't understand it. Me too, Mika. Me too. Next, Zeke learns how to escape the clutches of the path, somehow. I don't know. He materializes himself and comically gestures to Levi his location. Levi's unhealthy obsession is revitalized, like a junkie seeking his next hit, like Hector is to Haley's food.
Huh? Stop! You violated the law.
He snaps. He just can't help himself. Wow, that was fast. I guess Zeke's sensuous hollering cured Levi's lacerated leg. Anyway, consequently, the rumbling stops, Sean and Armin blow up Eren, and a parasitic glowworm emerges? What on earth is that? Kill the worm. Yeah. I really enjoyed that this world was a fantasy. I personally didn't need an alien space worm to be the origin of Titans. Anyway, Wormy does a stinky, excreting a gas that transforms the remaining Eldians into Titans. It's here we are treated to probably the second best scene. Connie and Jean reminiscing on simpler times, sitting by the fire, recalling when they first decided to join the Scouts. A decision that set their lives on a path that has now led to their fated end. It's heartfelt, it's so well written, and it's kinda pointless. It serves as another escalation that is ultimately resolved with no consequence. Just another fake out death. We'll just add that to the list over here. Now, with our heroes continuing the fight, Mikasa becomes more distressed with associated headaches. Next thing we know, Mikasa wakes up with Eren in a cabin in the woods. Look, I really enjoyed this scene. Eren and Mikasa have romantic interests instead of the much more telegraphed brother and sister platonic relationship. And I don't really care. But it honestly just raises more questions without meaningful answers. Had Eren wiped Mikasa's memories? Hang on, I thought Ackermans couldn't have their memories wiped. Oh, is that why she gets headaches? Or maybe this is just her imagination of a future she can't have. You know, maybe this is just her letting go of the idea of a future with Eren. Maybe this is them spending time on the path, huh? Ha ha, you buffoons. It seems much more likely that she got her memories wiped. As we hear her later say to Armin, you got your memories back too? I swam the dark depths of Reddit at nauseum, and there is only theories. Honestly, we don't really know what happened. And that kinda bothers me. I feel like any of these answers could have worked if they just depicted it a little better. And at this moment is when I started to feel a bit disorientated. Nonetheless, Mikasa engages Eren, who harbors a look of pure misery and apathy. She sets him free. Mikasa then proceeds to kiss Eren's decapitated head with Ymir onlooking. Whilst it is odd for sure, I personally don't mind it. It's a weird moment, but then again, so is decapitating the person you love most. So I chalk it up to just Mikasa's copium. Eren's death might have been an inevitability, but it still hit hard. Personally, I think this scene's execution was excellent. This next section is a big one. It's gonna take us some time, so if you're still watching, firstly, thank you. You're amazing. And I hope you're prepared for this. Now let's discuss Eren and Armin's controversial conversation with some insufferable voice acting from yours truly to avoid copyright strikes. This is the moment everything unraveled. It was immersion breaking. I want to preface this by saying that I really enjoyed the concept of this conversation. Did you have to beat me up that badly? I was doing whatever I could to push you two away. It seemed kind of crazy to me too. I let myself get carried away. I'm really sorry. You think? It's here that Eren's motivation is seemingly revealed. Eren states that he killed 80% of the world, so his friends could be seen as the heroes and thrive in the subsequent world that follows. Every surviving human would owe them a debt of gratitude. I don't hate this. It's simple. The revelation doesn't have that wow factor I'd come to expect from the show.
Yo, what up, guys? I'm with my boys Bertholdt and Rainier. They're talking about destroying some walls, but I don't know what they're saying. They're probably just joking.
Next, we are clued in on Ymir's motive for constructing and sustaining the Titans. Ymir loved King Fritz. She literally loved the man that burnt her home, murdered her parents, cut off her tongue, and used her as a vessel to ascertain power. She essentially had Stockholm Syndrome for like 2 millennia.
Yikes.
Now, you might be thinking, I can't understand the deepest depths of the founder Ymir's heart. Yeah, you might be thinking that. And that's the rationale they give. They do not elaborate. Who's ready for another plot twist? Eren, while seeing everything, past, present, and future simultaneously, we learn that he himself set everything in motion, commanding the Dina Fritz Titan to eat his mother to preserve Bertolt. Alright then, I've kind of got plot twist fatigue at this point, but sure, whatever. Eren killed his mum. Fine. Next, we see Armin strike Eren. Yeah, let's go! Not for murdering humanity, but for being oblivious to Mikasa's feelings. Are you kidding me? Did anyone else burst out laughing when they saw Armin's face here? Armin is teasing Eren about how Mikasa will just move on. Then we get the scene that sent me to the beyond. The realm where cringe reigns and common sense is no more. Eren begins to cry. I want her to pine after me for at least 10 years.
Oh, please, Mikasa. Oh.
Pathetic.
Eren's climactic emotional moment is not him coming to grips with his heinous acts of genocide, nor is it him clutching his chest, weeping at the fear of death and saying goodbye to those he loves. Nope, it's him wanting Mikasa to pine over him.
Armin, I'm a slave to Mikasa's abs. I thought I was alpha, but I'm just a baka. Sumimasen.
People online love to spout this scene's brilliance because it legitimizes the fact that Eren never changed. He was always the same character, as if that's a good thing. This scene also happens to undo much of Eren's character development and growth. The hardened, cold, and calculated Eren was just a mirage for this little goofball with a crush and a god complex. Surely to some extent, you must see how this completely undercuts his conviction to commence the rumbling. To say Eren was always the same character is easily the most jarring and blatantly disappointing moment in the entire anime. Oh, I didn't think you would say something so pathetic. Jinx! Eren then exclaims that he doesn't want to die. He doesn't want to leave anyone. What I think many wanted to see was not an outburst of pubescent love, but a deep, sorrowful grief. Mourning the life he wanted to share with Mikasa. Mourning the lives he destroyed for his ideals of a greater future for his people. Mourning the man he became. Reckoning with his actions. That's what I wanted to see. But it wasn't what we got. Okay. Here is the next moment that gave me a major headache. Armin, in an attempt to remedy the situation and console his friend, is like, hey, there's still hope if we just work together. But Eren's response here is, oh my gosh, it is particularly difficult to swallow. Armin's plea for Eren to cease fire is met with, soz, I can't. Why not? Just can't. Come on. Eren clarifies that it's determined that our heroes only saved 20% of humanity. Eren says he tested it, tried to rewrite history, but time and again, it all led to the same destination, to the same catastrophe. This is explicitly telling and not showing a vital detail. Eren is basically saying he has no agency, no autonomy. He is a slave to his predestined path, even after seeing into the horrors of that future. I admit it juxtaposes interestingly with his spoutings of freedom and his passion to keep moving forward. But still, as a viewing experience, this did not feel satisfying in any way. This felt like a lackluster resolution to what has been a series built on its astonishing narrative complexities. Here's what they should have done. Instead, they should have expanded upon Eren's cognitive pandemonium and visually showcased his experience of trying to shoulder the burden of the founding Titan. Show us his attempts to explore timelines. Show us the despair he saw. Show us how he came to the rationale that this truly was the only way forward. Additionally, with all the timey-wimey stuff occurring where Eren and Armin are sharing this one coherent conversation over different moments in time, they should have left breadcrumbs to indicate that these moments occurred at specific junctions in the story. I mean, think about it. When Bertolt and Reiner were revealed to be villains, it recontextualized all of their prior interactions. It all made sense in hindsight and elevated the narrative. I absolutely love these scenes. Eren speaking with Armin and others throughout time doesn't have any impactful moment to discover through hindsight. There's no moment we can look back at and be in awe and acknowledge that Isayama had planted this revelation under our nose. Therefore, to me, these plot twists fell kind of flat. It seems I wasn't the only person that felt like these scenes could use some fleshing out. You see, a fan project is currently in the works called Attack on Titan Requiem, and judging by the trailer alone, it looks to be enriching the finale, expanding upon moments that many felt were lacking or rushed. Seriously, the animation in this is absolutely incredible. It looks nothing like a fan film. I'm super excited to see where this goes. If you're interested, go and check the trailer out after this. Links will be in the description below. Back to the conversation. Armin is in disbelief at Eren's answer. This can't be true. You're saying this can't be undone? This isn't a solution at all, Eren. Which is exactly what we were all thinking now. Don't say you weren't. You were thinking that. Following this, Armin's speech might be the best dialogue in the finale. Whilst Armin admits Eren's actions at great cost brought momentary peace, he postulates that inevitably, violence will only breed more violence. Instead, Armin advocates the desperate need for hope amidst despair. This is the core theme of Attack on Titan, and it's exemplified by both word and Armin's actions thus far. Even now, he is embodying this. He is trying to understand Eren and connect with him. Armin says, but we need to think that despite all of that, we can eventually come to understand one another. This truly was outstanding writing. This was absolutely beautiful. Oh, it was the general belief, you know, from what Eren said 5 minutes ago, that Eren rumbled to protect Parity, to save his friends. You actually thought that was, you thought that's why he rumbled. You actually thought that was the, you doofus. That's so cringe. Oh my god. Here comes another plot twist. You know how people have superhero fatigue right now? Well, I have plot twist fatigue from Attack on Titan. Alright, you want to know why Eren killed everyone, right? He wanted to flatten the populace to fit his childhood understanding of Earth. Oh my gosh. That's like picking up a National Geographic and deciding to nuke a whole city because it wasn't the tranquil rainforest you saw in the book. Why did Eren kill everyone? He doesn't even know anymore. He killed everyone because he is a self-professing baka.
Kinda smell like a baka.
That's right. Eren has an epiphany. After exploring time in an infinite vacuum with godlike powers, he realizes he's just a first-class goofball.
There was a misinput, calm down! There was a misinput!
Trying to understand this moment, it seems that now with Armin, Eren is trying to take pause to reflect on his motives and explore his decision-making. That's surely why this seems so sporadic. Nonetheless, Eren realizing he's an idiot might compromise his broody persona, but I think it's also fine. With the immeasurable amount of trauma Eren had been subjected to, it's completely justifiable that Eren became fixated on vengeance and power. I just wish this moment had more heart in it. Anyway, let's wrap this bit up. Armin discloses his own destructive urges, to which Eren is like, to which Armin is like, and to which I'm like, okay then. Armin, in an attempt to console his friend, is like, hey Eren, I'm a bad boy too, because I showed you that book and all, so really it's my B. Let's burn together in hell. Did Armin just say that? To be honest, I checked out so hard at this point. Armin saying this whole schmozzle was a joint effort is ultimately meaningless because it's just not true. Also, did anyone else laugh at these pictures? They look so silly. Armin's memories go temporary bye-bye. Oh, and oh no, thank God that's over. Far out. Whilst I really dislike that scene, I'm still invested in Eren and Armin as characters. Thus, I think it's genuinely excellent pacing to have the next moment be Armin breaking down in tears, seeing Eren's lifeless head cradled in Mikasa's arms. This was a genuinely moving scene, and I am so glad that it exists. It honestly broke my heart. And in a shock no one saw coming, yet another plot twist.
No, this can't be.
What? Not another plot twist? I'm so tired. As I alluded to earlier, Eren traversed through time and communicated with most of our heroes. Except you. It's here we learn that Eren's actual objective was not just to prolong the next inevitable conflict. It wasn't to protect his people or make his friends international heroes or flatten the world to look like a picture book. No. His actions free Eldians of the Titan curse. Wow. I've gotten progressively more sassy throughout this video. Our characters are bewildered as it seems they are remembering moments Eren shared with them. A very different Eren than what we'd seen the last season. They're in disbelief. He cared for them. To me, I think this moment again says too much and shows way too little. I understand this might work for a large majority of people, but it was again another miss for me. It feels like the man who just murdered the world is being retroactively redeemed through timey-wimey D&Ms, and I'm just not here for it. Then Levi, sitting against the rock, sees the, I'm gonna say spirits, of his former pupils and fallen comrades. This is the first time the dead have been able to visibly appear in the world. So who knows why? I'm guessing it's just a bit of sentimentality, maybe it's an anime trope, or perhaps the fumes are happy gas? Levi says, "Seems this was a resolution you gave your hearts for." Huh? Huh? They died so Eren could kill everyone? They died so Eren's vague plan for Mikasa to get Ymir to break Titan Curse could occur? I'm sorry, I'm just so confused. And if you're wondering how these apparitions are even there, don't worry, I am too. Another moment for the Reddit dungeon. We later discover that Eren's actions enabled a terrorist organization to usurp the government and enforce military oppression. The most powerful armed force in the world is now the Jaegerists. I wouldn't worry about it.
Bad luck, I guess.
In saying all this stuff, I really enjoy the fact that our ragtag group of heroes become the ambassadors for peace talks. They themselves embody reconciliation and hope. They've demonstrated courage to overcome their own prejudice, to unify for peace. Also, there is something so brilliant about Eren being buried under the tree the show started with. I honestly love it. There's only one small problem. Eren is a bird. Yeah, no, we aren't going to talk about that. All right. Look, we need to stop drinking that depresso espresso for a sec. If you haven't picked up already, I'm not the biggest fan of this ending. To be clear, I don't hate it. It's just, Believe me, it gives me great pleasure to roast this finale. But I think it's only fair that we have a few final moments to unpack where this finale succeeded. All right, let's land this plane. A major praise I must give the finale is that the core themes continue to be explored in meaningful ways. Humans' propensity to violence, the natural inclination to dehumanize and demonize their enemy in order to rationalize the heinous atrocities of war. These things are still there. We see these themes permeate in the conflicts intermittently showcased at Fort Slava, as men and women both learn how to work together for a common goal, and despondently turn on each other the moment circumstances change. Another shining example of thematic resonance is in the baby sequence. As people are pressed to the edge of a cliff, a desperate mother flings her child to the sea of people before meeting her end. Amidst the chaos and seemingly inevitable destruction, people instinctively labor together to ensure the safety of the distressed baby, a clear symbol of hope for the future, and a metaphor of humanity's capacity to overcome adversity together. This is one of the grimmest and yet most beautiful scenes I've ever seen in any anime. You know, I really don't like war movies. The realistic adaptation of a world in conflict genuinely scares me. It's just so easy to think that that could be me dying on the battlefield. However, Attack on Titan's message is the most clear, concise, and critical critique on war I've ever seen.
Thing is, she left our forest, but it turns out she just traded it for a bigger one. With the same rule of kill or be killed still applied. I reckon Sasha died because she wandered in that forest for too long. We gotta get the children out of that forest, at the very least. Or else there's nothing gonna stop this from happening again. And again. The way I see it, when it comes to shouldering the sins and hatreds of the past, that burden should fall to adults like you and me.
Oh man, I love this show. Attack on Titan as a whole is a monumental accomplishment in storytelling. So it's a real shame they speedran the ending. To me, the ending felt disjointed and confusing. I don't mean confusing as in, I don't understand why this is happening, therefore bad. No, I mean confusing as in, it feels like the answer to my questions cannot be extracted and ascertained in the same way they have been for the longevity of the show. Things are just happening, and the connective exposition doesn't do enough to orientate us. Moments like this. Ymir summoning titans of old. Falco being a bird. Eren being a bird. Armin figuring out how to navigate the path. Zeke freeing himself. The former titans regaining their sentience. The Armin and Eren timey-wimey conversation. The Eren and Mikasa forest scene. And of course, Space Worm. All of these are moments that culminate to making me think like I've legitimately missed parts of this episode. I personally believe that watching video essays on this finale does provide extra context and depth, but it shouldn't be required reading. Attack on Titan's impact on the medium and resonance is remarkable. It will be forever remembered in the anime zeitgeist as one of the all-time greats. The twists and turns it entails are spectacular. There is seriously nothing quite like this show. The bold creative genius to follow through on the rumbling is second to none. It's just a shame that they ended it with the fumbling. You know, if there's one thing I regret, it's that I didn't watch this show sooner. Attack on Titan was such an incredible journey, and I'm envious of people that discovered it and watched it week by week, waiting those agonizing years for the next season, stringing together theories and delving into forums. I wish I could have been part of that community too. Still, the thrill and enjoyment of experiencing this show is truly unlike anything I've ever seen. And whilst the ending for me spoils the perfect reputation Attack on Titan was known for, it by no means stops it from being one of the most entertaining and engaging pieces of media I've ever experienced. And that's how Attack on Titan broke my heart. I've seen a lot of Attack on Titan hot takes out there, so I plan on reacting and discussing them in a future video. And if you want to see that when it comes out, you know what to do. Type in your thoughts below and I'm gonna respond to them in my next video. Oh, and if you're new to anime or you have friends that are new to anime, I made a video just for you. Right here. Thanks as always for watching and have a fantastic day. And judging by the trailer alone, it looks to be enriching the phalange. All right, let's land this plane. Maybe I'll use that one. Nice. All right, that's it. That's all, folks.